go to a PWI. Prioritize your mental health like no other, especially in college, because nobody cares. Maybe I'm talking to myself a little bit. Am I preaching? Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. Today's video is a girl talk, which I've never done before, so bear with me. Since I am in school right now, I'll talk about college and about living life in college, mental health as well, being selfish. That's a big thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to do like a full video on being selfish, but I wanted to include more things that lead up to you becoming selfish. Currently, I'm a junior. So with that being said, this being my third year in college, I've experienced a lot. And most people experience a lot during their freshman year, so you'll know how the rest of your year should go, or what you should and should not be doing. I won't talk about being an athlete too much, but I will touch on that. Simply being a student, it's definitely grind time, especially in the fall semester, because I feel like most people in their fall semester have their hardest classes, especially me. This fall semester, I took 4 classes, but they were 4 difficult classes, so higher level. So it did not feel any different from taking 5 classes, and 5 classes is 15 credits. So I took 12 credits in this semester in the springtime. In a couple of days, actually. Today's January 10th, so January 16th we start classes. I'll be having 5 classes, 1 online, which would be like a medical sociology class, and then the rest are in person, which go in between sociology and political science, which are both my majors. So simply being a student, you have to grind really hard to get the grades that you want. Me personally, I have not made Dean's List. I'm a busy person who also happens to be an athlete, who also happens to be part of clubs and organizations that take a lot of time. So honestly, I do what I can. That does not mean that my grades are bad. Not by any means. Me having all B's, me having A and B's, and me having A, B's, maybe a C here and there, that's fine. Fine for me, because my GPA has not been under the rug as much as you may think for such a busy person. Even I know, like some of my teammates and stuff, their GPAs are higher than mine. That maybe has to do with their major or not doing extracurricular activities after sports and classes, you know, as in not being involved in organizations and things like that. So you never know. But the major you have really determines the GPA that you will have. I'm gonna say that, especially with me being such a busy person, the GPA I have is based on the exterior things that I do and the major that I have, because being a double major is not sweet. I don't recommend being a double major, but if you want to go for it and achieve high, do it. I just happen to be a overachiever, a high achiever, overachiever, whatever you want to call it. That's definitely me, and I never feel like anything's enough. That goes into prioritizing a healthy school and social life. I was getting to my next point. I got my iPad right here. Having the best of both worlds. Word to Hannah. Yeah. I go to a small PWI and nobody does anything for real. Like, we'll go to class, we'll party. We'll go to a good football game, we'll party. And that's just like a balance that everybody here has. And I think that's one thing I appreciate. People are still about their business and still about their schoolwork at the same time. Trying to find a balance of maintaining a healthy school life and social life. So take time for you. Don't stress too much about school. I am a big stressor. So me telling you this, I am very much contradicting myself. But it's good for you to do it. Don't worry about me. When it comes to school, I'm gonna get my work done. I'm a bit of a procrastinator, so once the pressure's on, I really get the juices flowing, I really get it done. That's me. if you're not the type that can be a procrastinator and still come out on top, don't try it. So if you're not the type that can procrastinate, that can do last minute things, that can squeeze in time to do your work and still go outside, if you're not one of those, you're gonna have a hard time in college. You're definitely probably on the lower side of the GPA. And GPA is not everything, but it does matter. Personally, I'm thinking about grad school, so my GPA matters. So I feel like yours too, should too. Even if you're not thinking about grad school, just think about a high achievement. Chancellor's list, you know, summa cum laude on graduation day, you know, things of that nature. So pairing that with the healthy school and social life, actually going to events at your school, like in college. People don't go to events in college for real, and that scares me. You're paying to be on this campus. I'm not, but y'all are paying to be on this campus and don't even go outside. Y'all don't even go to a little basketball game. And I go to a small PWI where everything for us is free. So basketball games, football games, baseball, the whole nine is free. But you telling me you don't even want to go? I digress. Because it's really crazy how, at least on this campus, I can only talk about this campus because I don't know how y'all schools are or the schools you guys are possibly going to are. I try my best to go to anybody's events on campus because that's something I like to do. I like to have that community engagement aspect, and that's something I've been preaching about for I don't know how long. The energy is, at least here, is not what it needs to be as far as events. Because why can't you book out a room and have it filled? Like, you'll probably have a whole room for an event, like a Black History trivia night, and then you have about 8 people show up. I go to a PWI. We don't have as many Black people, but there is a sufficient amount. But they aren't around. They're off in their apartments or off in their dorms, not being social. And that's okay. I understand that some people aren't social, but you have to get out. So actually going to events is a good thing, not just for you, but for other people around you and for the people that are hosting events. Like me. Like me. I'm one of those people. In the beginning, it was hard for me to not take things to heart, you know, especially hosting an event. It was a bit hard, but nowadays I'm fine with it because I know the people who actually want to support will support. If you go to a bigger school, I know there's events. Try to get out there. Some people have social anxiety, and if you're one of those people, at least test the waters. At least go with somebody you're comfortable with. You know, that's how I got outside in the beginning of coming to school. Like for me, when I got here, I didn't really do much until I found a group of people to do things with. You have to have somebody, at least one person, to be around on a college campus because it does get lonely. Treating yourself, living within your community and engaging with those people inside your community to even gain connections, because we're in college. At the end of the day, once we all graduate, we go our separate ways. You're going to need connections. And your professors, they are going to give you recommendations, but they don't know you on a personal level. Rather than you make a friend in college, they're in a psychology field and you're in a criminal justice field, and you guys later down the line reconnect. Hey, I'm looking for a job, da 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 da. I'm looking for a job in this field. Oh, I know somebody in the criminal justice field who happens to know somebody in the psychology field, and we brush off each other like that. You get what I'm saying? So I hope that helps into prioritizing a healthy school and social life. Even outside, go to other schools, explore. For me personally, I go to a PWI. So going to different schools and experiencing their homecomings was so fun to me, which I made a video about. I'll link it here. Going into mental health. Listen, baby. Prioritize your mental health like no other, especially in college, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, your professors will allow you to take a mental health day. But will you allow yourself to? Let me say that again. Professors will allow a mental health day. All you need to do is email. All you need to do is reach out. Let them know. But will you allow yourself to take the break that you need? Your professors are fine. They'll be okay. You miss one day of class, a little attendance. You still gonna graduate at the end of the day. In 4 years. You're gonna graduate. So why aren't you prioritizing your mental health? Maybe I'm talking to myself a little bit. I know there's been times where I haven't. I've been like, oh, I need to go to this class. I need to finish this assignment. I need to go take this test. When really, I needed to lay in my bed and pray. I needed to relax my mind so I can be okay. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to relax. In a time where mental health is such a big thing, and you still not taking these gestures from other people, or even the signs that you see via social media, via the Lord talking to you, via your friends saying something about them taking mental health day, you need to take that break as well. Especially in college, because nobody cares. The days still go on. The semester still continues. You have a couple breaks in between, especially in the spring semester. You have a couple of breaks. Spring break, Easter. What else you got? Not much. Especially if you are a leader at your school, or you are engaged in so many organizations, clubs, volunteer programs, whatever. If you're so involved, but you aren't giving yourself the time to relax, that hurts you in the end, doesn't it? Speaking from experience, speaking from an overachiever who loves to do things for other people in communities, who also happens to be an athlete, who doesn't have much time off, I'm telling you to take a break. Even if your mental health day is you going to get ice cream after the class, you're done with classes. How about you free up your schedule from anything else after the priority, after your classes? If you have something within your club, within your organization, how about you take a break? Tell them, hey, I can't do this today. I need a break. The whole thing with people is they don't like to ask for help. Am I one of those people? Yes. If you feel in college you have nobody that cares about you, you should reevaluate the people that you're around. Or if you're not around people, you need to find a group. If you're of color, they have Black student unions, African student union, you know, things of that nature. If you like computers, they have clubs, they have anime clubs, like any little thing, there's people on campus waiting for somebody to be interested in what they're interested in. You just have to get out there. Especially like going to like the library on campus. You know, there's people in there who have resources. People have jobs that to source your interest in people who also have your interest. That's a job in the library. Whatever you like, they can find people or clubs or organizations to help you out. Take it. Being mentally stable or mentally here is highly important, because at the end of the day, you're going through life on your own. You're going through things on your own, especially in college, away from your parents. Thinking about me, I didn't want to go very far. So I am a couple hours away from my parents. Enough hours away for me personally. I can only imagine how it feels to not have anybody and have a mental space that is not allowing you to really live your full college life. There are resources on campus to help you get into like therapy and things of that nature. And for me, I am a bit standoffish when it comes to going to like a therapist here. At my PWI, I'm a bit standoffish. I know you should want the help of anybody who's willing to help you, but I need somebody who looks like me at the end of the day. And that's one thing lacks. Just a little. Also, being in college and being alone and it affecting your mental health does not mean you should pack on the freshman 15 3 times. No way. We're walking up and down hills, we're working out. Even my friends that aren't athletes are working out because we have a gym here. I'm pretty sure y'all school have gyms too that you can utilize to fill up some time, and you can actually engage with people, with the whole nother community, the gym community, which goes into going to events, going to places on campus to engage, which goes back into your mental health. Ooh, I'm tying this all together. Am I preaching? Doing things for you to better you, not packing on a bunch of pounds, not letting go of the self-care regimens that you would do back at home. Do your skincare. Make sure your hair is done. Make sure you look presentable, because that's your first impression. You're in college does not mean you have to wear pajamas every day with slippers outside. You go into an event, look good. You go into class. If you look good, feel good, you will be good. You attract more people. You attract more things. So you attract connections. If you just get out there and step out the box. And that ties into being selfish. If you know you're not one of those people to be bold and really get out there, find smaller groups, find a person to talk to, you know what I mean? Go into the caf and scope the scenery out. My bad. Get on the media, like get on Twitter, get on Instagram. You can look up your school on TikTok and find the people who making videos in that section. DM, comment, you know, things of that nature. Just to see if these people are people that you would like to be around. If you want to become a happier person in college, if you want to make more friends in college, you do that. Don't let anybody, especially anybody you know from back home or your parents, tell you what you can and can't do that you feel will better yourself. Closed mouths don't get fed. You have to be selfish. You're lacking things that are creating a not so great space mentally. So these things, you take it back. You pick yourself up. You need an off day? Selfish. I'm taking an off day. I'm okay for one day. I'm not going to classes for this one day. I'm just going to do my self-care, read my books, and vibe out. And then we're going to focus on my life the next day. Take time for you. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to care. I filmed an outro at the time I recorded the video, but technical difficulties happened. So, until next time, thank you guys for watching. I'm out!